everyone, it's Marisa from bumblebeeapothecary.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make beef oxtail soup. This is one of my favorite ways to use meaty bones to make a really collagen-rich meat stock and soup dish all in one. This is one of those times when you're making meat stock as a meal. So you get your vegetables, your meat stock all in one dish. It's delicious for people on or off the GAPS diet. Let's jump into the recipe and I'm going to show you how to get started. First thing that I'm going to do is to put about 3 tablespoons of tallow into my Dutch oven. I'm just roughly eyeballing this. And then the next thing I'm going to do is just open up my packages of oxtail. I have about 3 pounds here, but you can adapt this to whatever amount that you want to make. And I'm just going to add the oxtail into the Dutch oven on top of the tallow. Next, I'm going to put the oxtails with the tallow into a 350-degree Fahrenheit oven with no lid on top of the Dutch oven. And this is just going to let them roast, which really enhances the flavor. I'm going to have them in there at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 hour. Once the hour is up, I'll show you the next step. Now that the bones are finished roasting for an hour in the oven, it's time to take them out. So I'm going to take the bones out of the Dutch oven. It's one of the things I really like about this recipe is you just do it all in one pot. And then there's going to be this really tasty layer in the bottom with the tallow and the crispy little flavorful things that come from the bones, and we're going to deglaze the pan, which is going to help make a really delicious broth. So I'm going to put the pan onto my stove top, and then I'm going to turn the heat to about medium high. I'm going to add about a half of a cup of white wine and about a cup of water. Okay, next I'm going to add a 1/4 of a cup of apple cider vinegar. I'm actually going to turn the heat all the way up to high just to really get it started, and then I'll probably turn it down a little bit once it gets going. But I'm just looking for it to come to a nice boil, and then I'm going to stir this and let it kind of reduce down some. And while I'm doing that, I'm scraping the bottom of the pan so that I can get all of those tasty little bits up from the pan. Alright, once it's reduced down to roughly half, it's not an exact science, but you feel like it's reduced down some, then I'm going to add the oxtails back to the pan. I'm going to turn my heat off for now. And then I'm going to add just enough water to cover the oxtails. Then I'm going to turn the heat back on to high, and I'm going to bring this to a boil, and I'm going to look for any scum to rise to the top, and then I'm going to use my skimmer to skim off any scum that I see rise to the top. While I'm waiting for that to boil, I'm going to go ahead and chop up my vegetables. I'm doing 2 onions, and I have 4 leeks. Now that it's come to a boil, I'm just gonna skim off any scum that comes to the top and get rid of it. All right, now at this point, I'm going to add my vegetables, my onions and leeks. If you'd like to make this more of a substantial soup, you can add carrots as well. I'm just gonna keep it onions and leeks for now. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to taste, just a little sprinkle of pepper, and then a good amount of mineral salt so that you get that good flavorful broth or meat stock. Having enough salt is key to a delicious broth or meat stock. At the same time, you can always add more, but you can't take it out once it's in there. But the more that you cook, the more you figure out kind of the right feeling for the right amount. Now I'm just going to bring this up to a simmer. And then once it's at a good simmering temperature, which is usually like medium low, then I'm going to put the lid on, and then we're going to let these cook for 6 to 8 hours. You can also stick it into the oven at around 300 degrees Fahrenheit and have it finish off that way, but stovetop also works, either one. Alright, once it's done cooking, I'll come back and show you how it turned out. Alright, now that the oxtail soup has been cooking for a while, it should be done, so I'm gonna go ahead and serve it up. I like to garnish it with some fresh parsley. And it's ready to go. Just a quick note, at the same step as when I add the vegetables, I also add some dried thyme and dried or fresh parsley. So I forgot to show that in the footage, but I also add around maybe half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of each of those. Okay, I hope that you really enjoy this recipe. If you try it out, leave me a comment and let me know how you liked it. Check out that description box for links to where I like to buy grass-fed beef and other groceries, as well as some links to free ebooks and other goodies. If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with anybody else who you think would like it, and if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I get out 2 new videos every week on nourishing recipes and natural living. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.